Yo, Eric, we're over here on the Paranormal Hunt, and I headed over to this other building, and it's number 13. I was just telling Ron, my God.
All right, welcome everybody.
Howdy.
Today, I gotta hit press pause here. Before we start, I gotta say one thing. Before we start, I don't know if anybody been watching the news. Man, what's happening in Nashville? It just sucks straight out.
Terrible.
I mean, I know Anthony. We take our kids to school, pick up kids and stuff, and what's going on in Nashville? It should not happen.
In any school, anywhere.
School, anywhere.
Just please keep them in your prayers because it's tragic what's going on in this world, man. It's disgusting. Things need to change.
It does. And there's no one answer for anything. It is, and I've in our state, a lot of online schooling has risen, and you can kind of see why. And that's sad because you need kids to be with other kids. But now you got to think about safety, even more safety. And kids got to be with other kids, or otherwise everything is going to be online apps and touching,
Unfortunately,
with friends.
Unfortunately, in today's day and age, the social interaction in schools and everything, you got to worry about who's bringing a firearm to a classroom, and that's a sad state of facts, but it's true. So
it is. It's sad. So a lot of people in the chat now. If you see me stare over here, because my StreamYard is over here, computer issues, but we're gonna get through it. I want to look at the chat, see who's here so far. We got Dutchy61, Paranormal Pixie Lara. I talk cryptids. I bet you talk cryptids. Nice to see you here. Slow motion.
I talk.
Like the name. Slow.
I talk cryptids, not taught. Talk. TALK. Talk.
And good old Danny Staten, and you got Jim Smith. Got good, solid people. And I know this is a different time, so a lot of people are not used to this time. It's just because I had an appointment this morning, so I had to move it up. So I know that it's going to throw a lot of people off. Like, he's on at 1 o'clock Pacific time? I thought he's on at 10 o'clock Pacific, 10 a.m. Pacific time. So I have some appointments, and just to let everybody know in the chat, I'm going to let you guys know in advance that I'm going to be working on upload videos the next couple of days, because next week I can't say where I'm going, but I'm going to be gone for basically a week. So I'm trying to work on some premiere videos so I can premiere them up. So if some of you want to see my beautiful face still, you still can. But I will be gone for a week with undisclosed information. But of course, when that week is over, you're going to know where I've been. And all that. So the title, people, is Space, the Final Frontier. Is it the final frontier? Remember, we're all growing up, Anthony. You watch those cowboy shows. You're on the wagons. What did you find?
What did I find?
No, everybody's going to the West Coast for the final frontier. The California for the gold and all that. So, but the question is, what is everybody's, like, what would their final frontier? It doesn't necessarily be space, because has everywhere on this planet been explored?
No.
I know some of the oceans hasn't. So, Anthony, if somebody says, Anthony, I don't know, you got 8 days left on this beautiful earth. We're going to let you explore a final frontier for you, what is the final frontier for you?
Anywhere I want to go,
Anywhere you want to go,
I'm going to space.
going to space. I think that's I think that's
I
almost for
mean,
all of us.
uh,
Do you still? But regardless of space, before we could go to space, you think there's anywhere really left on this planet to explore? Is it just the parts of the
oh,
ocean that
without a
we can't
doubt.
get to?
Without a doubt. Like Jim Goodall and Doc Out Paranormal and Jared Murphy, they're going to Belize. They're going to be exploring 7,000 acres of property that's untouched. There's underwater Mayan pyramids that nobody's ever set foot into. I mean, these are just amazing things that people are still doing to this day. There's parts of underneath the ocean that have never been seen by human eyes. There's parts in the Amazon rainforest that I'm sure no human eyes have ever been there, and I'm sure there's many places like that.
And what about you people in the chat? Where would you guys go? I see right here that oh, I'm sorry. Danny Staten. Here, I gotta go to this screen because Danny wrote,
The Olsen.
I would go to the Olsen twins house given a choice. All right. Hey, I would say
Way
Area
to be,
51.
Danny. Area 51.
That-
Okay.
Area 51. Now, actually, hold on a second. That would be interesting because I mean, we could when you go to the area now. Now, Dutchie, are you talking about if you have access to go behind the fence into the military base of Area 51?
Yeah. If
Because
you
I know, like Anthony and I, we could go there now, but we're just gonna be sitting outside in the hot desert.
I still believe, Eric, that if we went to Area 51, that it'll take a few days, but I think we can sneak through the desert. I just think it could be done. I have it all figured out in my head.
It's Jim's Goodall's birthday.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I know he's not watching. Buffy is watching. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Jim.
Happy birthday to you.
Spoke to
Happy
him this
birthday,
morning.
dear Jim. Happy birthday to you. And Jim,
Oh, thank you very much.
if Jim was here, I would be singing that song in Yoda's voice. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I would actually be singing that song in Yoda voice, but he's not here. So Dutchie61 says yes, absolute. Yeah. So if you could get in there. Hey, I have a I wish I had a like I wish I had a map. And I want to hit all these hot spots. Area 51 would be
Now,
a hot spot. Even if we
you were
can't get in there or
saying,
not,
though,
I bet, man,
I
I
have
bet
8
be a lot
days
of people
left to
out there
live,
to
though,
be able
right,
to
Eric?
camp and talk
During
to
this
different
experience, I would only have
What's
8
that?
days to. I would get the experience where I want to go, but I would only have 8 days to live.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I
So
tell you what, forget
it
8
would
days.
be
You
space.
have 8 years to live.
Oh, well, then that changes my whole dynamic, because if I had 8 days, it's going to be space, hookers, and cocaine for 8 days straight. But since I have 8 years, it's going to be space and probably a lot of underwater exploration after that.
Pam says, I guess I'm with Anthony, but which is more scary? Staying here or space?
Since we found out that for like 100 grand you could travel to space, I mean, literally the second I have an extra 100 grand saved, I'm going up. I'm going. I understand it's only for a few minutes, but I want to literally see it with my own 2 eyes. I want to lay eyes on it and see what they see when they go through Earth's atmosphere and they're up there in low Earth orbit. I want to be able to feel zero gravity on my body. I want to be the first ufologist to go to space.
I agree here with Paranormal Pixel. I would love to investigate the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. If that's what you're talking about, Colorado, the Stanley Hotel.
That's where they
That
filmed
would
The
be-
Shining?
I think that's what she's talking about because that's
Yeah, I would go.
and think about that. because Stanley Hotel's in the beautiful part of Colorado. I mean, the mountains. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous, and
But let me
to
ask
be
these
able
questions.
to
I mean,
investigate there, that's just
there's so
the
many
whole
of us.
thing.
Right now, there's 14 of us in the chat that are either involved in UFOs, ghosts, and cryptids. If we all pooled our money together, we can all travel to somewhere dope. We can all meet up at an awesome location, and we can all make a week out of it. Filming, sky watching, traveling. Doing some Indiana Jones excavation type stuff, and just making a really good week out of it. We
Yeah.
really need to coordinate and figure something out for this summer or next summer or fall or whatever, and get out there and do it already together. I would love to meet all these wonderful people in the
Oh,
chat.
there's I'll just say this: once certain things get done, once certain things get done with my leg and stuff, when certain things get done, there are in talks of are getting a cool little small
RV.
RV,
Yeah.
actually hitting the road to a lot of different areas. They're just
I'm so ready.
it's just not fast enough. I know it's like I want it faster, but there's some process I just have. It shouldn't take that much longer, but once it's done, yeah, I want to get an RV because first of all, I've said this. I actually got a card. I could camp free at any federal parks throughout the United States. So I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, that's a lot of savings. And now my
And I
question
have a
is,
gun, so I can keep
um,
us safe anywhere we go. I mean, it's a 50-50 commitment here. You drive,
now
I shoot.
I do want to know. Now she said for UFOs, she wants to do Arizona. I wonder is
Arizona. Dude, that's
Arizona, is that a
beautiful.
beautiful spot for like
Sure
a lot
is.
of great UFOs,
Sure
Anthony?
is.
That is. Let's see anybody else has anything here.
I'm
Second,
100% in, Lara. Count me in.
Gina J wants to do a meetup. Oh, that's cool.
Look for UFOs in Jersey. I'm in 100%. 100%.
I
Count
like
me
this.
in.
Danny, second choice, a week in Jamaica.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
man. Everything gonna be Irie, Danny Stanton boy. Everything.
Yeah, and then Danny, will you go to Peter Tosh's grave for me and say, hey, thanks for the memory change. I appreciate it.
We go to Jamaica, we're running around singing. Some people say, you can't believe Danny Stanton has a bobsled team. You remember that song?
Oh yeah. And then the Area 51 thing
Franca,
been
what
done,
you been
Anthony. A
smoking?
guy spent about a week there following an old West trail.
Yes, and he made it through. In and out. He was able to deactivate the motion tremblers and everything. That guy got in. It took him 3 days to get out, and he made it inside Area 51 up into the main fence of the building on the inside of the property, which was like 6 miles in. He made it. That's
Um,
fascinating. Gloria
if you
and
guys have not
hello,
watched
darling.
the interview of Casual Conversation with GNA, go
Shut
back and
up.
watch it Saturday. It was their story was it was cool because I didn't know where the story was starting and how it ended with like two separate kind of a paranormal type of things in it that I don't want to say too much if you haven't seen it because you're gonna have to go watch it and listen to their story. It's a really
Are
good story. Moms with boys,
um,
my God, dude, Moms for Boys, I swear, your food on your channel makes me so much hungry.
yum,
I
yum,
was like
yum.
watching your how to do chicken. Chicken is to cook chicken, man. That's artwork because chicken you got to do it right. You got to have it defrosted right because I have personally cooked chicken before where it looks done and I eat it in the middle and it was still raw. You know, chicken.
Sounds like a personal problem there, Eric.
Antarctica.
I have
And
to ask casual conversations a question. You had said your dad had drew the chupacabra for you guys when you were young. Now, I'm just curious because I found this the other day. Is that what it looked like? Because you said it kind of looked like a dinosaur, and it stuck in my head. Is that the depiction of what it looked like, or similar? Just out of curiosity. because I have not stopped thinking about it since you spoke about it.
And if you guys don't recognize that picture, in the intro of the interview, that picture is in the hallway of that fast intro. That little creature.
And I'm just dying to know.
I wonder because you look up Chupacabra. There's so many different
Oh, look, they said
pictures.
yes, very similar.
Wow.
All right. All right. That's awesome. That is awesome, man.
I'm
Cool.
sorry. I'm
Thank you.
laughing. I'm laughing because cut the chicken into smaller pieces
And cook it slow.
and cook slow. Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm actually people, I'm actually a good cook. I really am. I probably make the best goulash. I make the best tri-tip sandwiches, and I make some good food. I will ask him to draw it again. Ooh.
Oh, thank you. I also am a very good cook. My father, well, both my parents cooked, but in an Italian household, the men like to cook too. I love to cook. I hate to clean afterwards, but I love to cook. I can cook anything, man. I'm a really good cook.
Yeah.
Really good cook. As you can tell, because I'm a little plump in the ass area, so I know how to cook.
Well, a lot of times I'm cooking almost every night because the wife is doing her work and I'm in the background just making the food. But the problem is I got the most picky ass goddamn kids in the world. I like that. I don't like that. I like that. Well, I don't give a shit what you like or not. You eat it or you don't.
Yeah, good luck. I have an 8-year-old niece who I love and adore. We adopted her last year. Some family problems and whatnot. So Janine and I stepped in and adopted her. But this kid, all she eats is McDonald's chicken nuggets or Wendy's chicken nuggets. And if that's not on the menu for her that night, it's Domino's pizza. And that's it. And it drives me insane. Like last night, I was trying to get her to eat chicken cutlets, and I'm telling her like it's the same thing, but 100 times better because McDonald's takes the whole chicken, grinds up the beak, the legs, everything, and then make this sludge with it, batter it, and then give you that. This is real white meat chicken. But for some reason, these kids love McDonald's and Burger King nuggets. I skeeve that stuff.
I mean, I could accept somebody liking McDonald's chicken nuggets if they want to, but Domino's pizza of to me they're one of the I hate to say this of all the fast food ones of Pizza Hut and all them. Domino's to me is the worst.
No, thank you.
It is the worst. I think it. Man, Domino's makes you want to crap.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Oh, sorry.
Earlier someone in chat put Antarctica. Now, Antarctica is very interesting because if you're going to Antarctica, you better have the proper equipment. I mean,
It's my boy
Antarctica is not war. I mean, you gotta have the proper equipment. But I wonder, Anthony, would it be would it be interesting to do Antarctica when it's mostly just ice and snow and frozen? And I mean, I guess
you know what? I would 100% go to Antarctica because it's fact that there's these crevasses which are like melting areas in the ice. They make like perfect ice tunnels, and when you walk through them, they go down for thousands of fucking miles, and you literally can get like into the inner earth where it's like warm and stuff like that. I would love to see that. I would love to lay my eyes on that crystal blue ice, being able to walk through it like a tunnel and check that out. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't you love to see that? Wouldn't you love to see a giant iceberg break off and fall into the ocean? I don't know. I would just love to see some of those things.
I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice if I had to pick one. But if I had an opportunity to go there, well, yes. But if like this question, like if you had one place, the one choice of a final frontier, for me, I agree with you. It would be space.
Oh,
it
without a
it
doubt.
it, it would be 100% space. My kid's about to be 18, and I mean, I don't want to leave family, but I hate to say this. Hopefully, the wife's not watching. I would have to go.
Um, bro, what I would give to go to space, really, I want to go so bad, man, so bad. And I tried because after I had, uh, won my claim from when I got in the building collapse, I had like a whole bunch of money come in, and I said to my wife, "Oh, we got this much. Can I take 100,000 and go to space?" Like I legit said, "Can we do this?" And she's like, "No effing way, we're buying a house." I said, "No, you mean I'm buying a house? Why can't I take 100 grand out of my money and go to space?" I really wanted to go. I
Yeah,
really wanted to go, but I got to save again.
I agree. I
You know,
mean, don't you remember when you first time when you're a kid, right? You look up in the skies, you see that big blue sky, you see all those freaking stars, and there's got to be a part of you as a kid that just dreams. I mean, I used to watch those science fiction movies, see space, see all that. I know there's not like the Star Wars fighting, like kind of like stuff like that, but I mean, maybe there is
we're
on part of the
born
galaxy, but
we're born to explore, Eric. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA
it,
to explore.
bingo. The
And
day you stop wanting to explore is the day you just dig your own grave. I really truly believe
I'm
that.
telling you, everybody, we are the aliens. We are the aliens. We came from somewhere else. We were brought to planet Earth. We are the aliens. Okay, it's us that are the aliens. We definitely came from somewhere else, and we were brought here. And that's why we're always looking to explore further out into the solar system, because we're probably trying to, deep down somewhere rooted in us, we're trying to get back to home, and that's how I feel about that.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But in other ways, otherwise, we do live in good times because I know there's certain part where when you get older, you just can't get around. I mean, your body's broken down, you just can't get around. But what's beautiful about nowadays is a lot of times because of the social media, because you have access to YouTube and other sites and all that, even though you can't go, you know what I mean? Like Anthony's going for me. I'm gonna watch Anthony because I can't do what he could do right now, but I can still explore in that way because at least you can still explore
What
from
can
your
you
own
do?
home, studying, reading books, studying people's stories. You know what I mean? I mean, so even though if you physically can't go out there, at least we live in the age that they can still explore even from their own house. I mean, nobody wants to live through somebody else's eyes, but unfortunately, there's going
The
to be a time
greatest,
that you and I are going to have to live through somebody else's eyes when we can't. We'll be in a wheelchair.
the greatest gift that was ever given to mankind was exploration. Searching for new worlds, searching for new land, searching for new species, whatever you're into. Exploration was the greatest gift that was ever given to man. Because in one way or another, we all love to do it, whether it's space, biology, uh, searching here on Earth for whatever, searching for your favorite plants, or your favorite animal species, whatever. Exploration is the gift that was given to us. That in one way, of shape, or form, we all do it, and we all love it. We all have that passion, and without that, I think it'd be a very boring world.
It is. But I wonder, do you and I's lifetime, will we ever, you and I, get to see? I mean, in reality, it's not going to be us going to Mars and stuff, but I wonder if we're ever going to see not a robot. I'm not talking about rovers. I'm talking about seeing a human land on Mars for the first time, kind of like the moon in 1969. Will you and I still be alive to be able to see somebody step on the moon, step on the Mars? You think that's going to be possible? We're going to see that in our lifetime?
I can almost guarantee you, Eric, that we will definitely see humans set foot on Mars for exploration. But before they do that, they need to colonize the moon so we can launch from the moon to Mars because it's just too far away. So we're definitely going to need that base on the moon to get us from point A to point B. But it will happen within our lifetime. Without a doubt, we'll be old men and women, but it will happen in our
You know,
lifetime.
I agree because I don't think a lot of people realize when a ship takes off from Earth, you're burning up 60% right there alone of all your fuel. Once you're up there, you're fine, but you're burning up all your fuel.
Well,
So
here's the deal. If you get on the moon, you can mine for what's known as helium-3, and you can extract the helium-3 and you can synthesize that into a fuel that the rockets can run on. And you can run 10 times longer, 10 times farther using helium-3. And it's right there. So you don't have to make all these trips back and forth to Earth for fuel supplies. It's right there on the moon. You just have
and
to
and I'm
excavate it and synthesize it. And that's
and
it.
I'm no expert. Ron's more of an expert of this kind of stuff, but because there's no gravity on the moon, it probably takes a lot less jet fuel to get off a moon.
You know, you're still going through the moon's atmosphere and then into the vacuum of space. So the retention on the craft, you may burn a shit ton of fuel trying to get off doing that. But once you level out in space's open atmosphere, it may, because once the fuel runs out, if you're doing 17,500 miles per hour, you're going to continuously do that till you get to your destination
Yeah,
and you start, making adjustments to land. But I really think we're going to be on Mars before you know it.
I really want to. Yeah, Paranormal Pixie. Yeah, low gravity. I go. That's where Ron's always good. Ron could probably go down to the little details
Ron
of all that.
Ron's
Yeah,
a
the
genius
star
when
base
it
on the
comes to
moon,
the
and then
science
God,
of
I really
everything.
want to see somebody. Now, of course, I still dream that somehow they pick us in a lottery and we get to go to Mars with them. But you know, you know,
Well, let me ask you this: like, what if NASA said tomorrow we're picking 25 um, astronauts, civilian astronauts, to be the first test subjects to go and set up a colonization on the moon?
100%.
The first 25 people that are picked will get to go. We're only taking 1,000 names. Would you put your name in the hat for that?
Oh, 100%.
So would I. And if
100%.
I die, so be it. But at least I got to, be one of the first explorers to go and try to do something like that. You
Because
know.
man, dude, my whole life I felt like I mean everybody probably feels this that we're meant to do something more. We're here for a reason. I know we hear that in movies, but you know what I mean? I feel like I am here for a reason, and it's just not to sit here. It's to do something, or something's coming here,
Um,
take us up there.
but are you gonna have to crazy glue the cowboy hat on your space helmet? I'm asking for a friend.
Oh,
You know,
oh
I'm just asking
man,
for a
the
friend.
first astronaut on the moon with the cowboy hat. Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Just asking for a friend.
I'm sure there's moon glue. I'm sure there's moon glue.
It's called Gorilla Glue, you schmecklehead.
gorilla, gorilla. Oh, that would be so awesome.
I want to go up so bad, and while I'm up there, I'm gonna have like a little camcorder, and I'm gonna be streaming live to YouTube, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, flat Earthers, it's round!" You're gonna get one of those from me. It's round.
Just don't tell you that you're in a studio in Hollywood.
Look down there, it's round. Make sure they all see it.
Oh man, it's just
So Carlos Skywatcher said, Anthony just sent you an email. They found water and tiny bits of glass on the moon. Now, the glass could be when you have high intense heat impacts, the sand and light material turns into like a glass. I forget what they call it. So that's what that could be. But water, that's interesting. I'm sure there's ice on the moon. Maybe some ice part, melted or whatever the case is. I don't know, and maybe that's where it's coming from, unless it's frozen particles that they found. But because we're gonna have to self-sustain a crew on the moon, and
mhm.
I'm wondering how they're gonna do that. But it would be pretty cool.
um Unfortunately,
Yo, don't
oh yeah,
know.
where is he back? Where's that? Unfortunately, that's never gonna happen again. I actually, how I win the lottery, I've actually interviewed
Me
people
too, dope nose.
and about the science, and I,
Tektite. Thank
they,
you, Paranormal Pixie. It's called Tektite, that
y-
glass.
yeah,
You
how I
usually
win the
get it
lottery.
from, like,
I'm never
atomic
gonna do
glass.
those kind of interviews again because it's very toxic once you
Which
get
interview?
into that community tab. You don't want to do that. Trust
Flat
me.
Earth?
Yeah, he said I should do a show, but I go, I used to interview people, but once you say you still believe in the Earth is round, they attack you. I mean,
Well,
they literally attack you.
here's
It's
the
not worth it.
thing. I watched the whole documentary about the guy that invented the whole flat Earth thing. The guy with the mustache, he lives with his mom and whatever. He's famous now. But when he invented it as like this whole joke thing just to see what society would do. And then it took its own form and shape and it molded into this huge thing. And now, like, they stand behind it as if it's real. Earth, I don't care who comes after me. Earth is not flat, point blank and simple. The planets are round. It's been proven time and time and time and time and time again. And not perfectly round like a basketball. Some of them are a little
Yeah,
oddly shaped, but they for all argumentative purposes, they're round. And how anyone can argue that is beyond me.
and how in the letter? I know you're saying tackle the tough subjects, but trust me, dude, I did. I was the channel that was not afraid to interview, but what the things they attack you, they send people to your channel on purpose, a thumbs down. It's just, I'm telling you, it's not worth it.
And I don't
It's not
care
worth it.
who believes what. If you believe the earth is flat, hey, more power to you.
Yeah,
God
I
bless
could
you, man.
care
That's your
less.
personal business.
But I,
But me personally,
but we're not.
I
You and
don't.
I, Anthony, we're not going to attack people for their
No,
beliefs.
no.
But unfortunately, people do. Listen, I did a Mandela Effect show on Friday, and I got a lot of hate on my pages and stuff. It's just
Well,
it,
here's the sad truth about being a YouTube content creator, with a fairly large channel like Eric's. He's got over 20,000 followers. I'm pushing almost 10. When you start getting into those numbers, people come after you for all kinds of stupid shit. And it's tiring. And I almost think they do it to drain you out. So you turn around and say, you know what, screw it. I'm not doing this channel no more. It's driving me nuts. But, people like Eric, myself, and Ron, we're just too strong for that. It'll never happen because we've worked way too hard to get where we are.
yep.
So you can bitch
And,
and moan all you want, but we ain't going anywhere.
and one day, how I'll win the lottery, I'll probably explain more on the history of what happened with all that. But I'll probably only do that through a member only channel because it's not something I want to do on an open forum, kind of like this, with all that. But Seal, let's see here. Anybody else has a place in the chat? Where would you go for your final frontier? Anthony, do you believe that everybody looks in the skies for
This little
UFOs and all
baby
that,
that
but there
Pam
is a belief
is
that
gorgeous. This
there
little
is a
baby.
belief that UFOs also come from beneath. They come from the deep parts of the ocean that we can't get to. They're from space, but they use the deep space as their, I don't know, hideout
I
or base.
I don't believe that these ships are flying here from one side of the solar system to the other. I really don't think that there are bases under the ocean. I think they travel and look under the ocean. If I'm going to be brutally honest, I think they phase in and out from other dimensions. I think that's how they're traveling. Just like okay, so for example, did you ever remember the old radio stations you had to turn the knobs?
Yep.
Well, did you ever turn the knob and, like the song you're listening to, it'll bleed into another song and you can almost hear both songs simultaneously at the same time? Well, that effect right there is the way that I think these things travel. I think they devised a way where they can almost bleed in and out of our dimension. Because 1 minute a craft is there, and then the next minute it's gone. So I really have no explanation for that. I do know for a fact that they can fly and travel fast and travel great distances, because we've witnessed it time and time again. But as far as getting over massive distances throughout the solar systems, I think they're doing it more like I said, like they're just phasing in and out as if you're free. There you go, Brown Dwarf. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word, like a frequency, like frequency vibration, because vibration is key to everything, man. If you tap into the right vibration, you can shatter glass. I mean, do you ever see an opera singer hold a champagne glass and they hit
Mhm.
that high note and it just shatters? Well, that's kind of like what I'm talking about. You get on that level of frequency, that resonance, and maybe they just dematerialize and get into the next plane because they know what that other dimension's vibrational rate is, so they can travel, in and out of that dimension. I strongly think that's how it operates.
And slow motion. Of course, I've seen The Abyss, baby. That's James Cameron. I love
Great
The
movie.
Abyss.
Great movie.
Wish that was
One of
real.
my favorites.
It is. That's James Cameron in the early days. Those special effects just was just
Beautiful, man.
mind blowing. Mind
When
blowing.
that ship
But
comes
hey,
up at
slow
the
motion.
end, and oh man.
Even though we have our certain thoughts on it, do we truly know what's beneath the deepest part of the ocean? No, because we
No, we
can't
do
go there
not.
because submarines and all that will get crushed. And of course, later in time, technology will get better and better. The metal will get better and better. There probably will be a time that we will be able to get to the bottom of the deepest part of the oceans, but
I want to know
not
what
right now.
happens when you go through like the cracks that are in like the Marianas Trench, like when you have an earthquake and the ocean splits open at thousands of feet down. What happens if you dive into one of those cracks? Where does that take you? Because that wasn't exposed until the earthquake and it opened up. I want to know where something like that takes you. What's inside those voids? There's probably crystals down there that are gigantic because the extreme
Mm.
pressures of Earth. There's probably gold bars underneath there that are the size of houses. You know, I really believe that's what's in the actual inner Earth. Massive crystals, massive diamonds, massive chunks of gold.
Are you asking us? Are you asking somebody in the chat? I love fish.
Do we eat fish? Yeah. Why? Why not?
I'm curious. What did Grandmaster UV wrote? I made a YouTube account called Ting Tong Hansen, aka Bing Bong High Tech, as a fifth account to use on Men in Black when they banned me.
Ding dong, ding a ding a ding dong.
So basically, what you got is a backup channel. Yeah. Let me see here.
So I says,
Making, what does he say? Making me a fresh banana ice cream shake with amino acid mix.
make me a nice shake with minty pickled sour sauce dipped in a spicy array of clamy nibble chops. That's what I like.
Just curious. Hey, listen, when you live in Seattle, Washington, when you live by the ocean. Oh, Anthony's got something.
Not for nothing. These Men in Black guys are ball busters. You know what I mean? They bust chops.
That UFO went down somewhere on the shoreline here. I want you to scour the area until you find it. And don't come back without that craft. I know it's out there somewhere. Find it. Who are you people and why are you watching me? This shoreline's closed. I want everybody out of here. And while you're watching me, take a look at this for a second. Won't remember a thing.
Man,
I
I
know
tell you
that.
what, if a Men in Black does show up your house, that means you did something right. Right? You're like, dude, I swear, if a Men in Black or some of the government come to my house, knocking on my door, I'd be like, yes, I found something real. Because they know if you got something real or fake.
I love having fun doing stuff like that.
I know it really is. It is. Because so beyond the oceans, so both you and I will go into space. It's just, God, I still dream about it. Man, I want to go up so freaking
I
bad.
I must say I've emailed Elon Musk, well, SpaceX, like 4 times now and said, I'm a ufologist, I'm an ex-cop, I'm retired, you know, would you allow me the opportunity to go up and document the whole experience as a ufologist, being the first ufologist that'll ever get to go up into space? I never hear anything back. Cause like, what's it to Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk? It's just one seat. I'm not talking to going up there for a couple of days. I'm talking just going up, staying up there 5 minutes, whatever, and then coming back down on the return. You know, come on, you guys got more money than God. You can't send one of us up to go check that out.
I,
What are you gonna do?
I know when you because the way you look at it now, it's
Yeah,
like it's a game just for millionaires, billionaires, and I think they would show a lot of character if you give an opportunity to a person that will never be able to have that kind of money
right.
for that kind of thing. Because it's sad because it's like those I hate to say it, kind of like those big time concerts, right? You got to have $1,000 now. So now you're doing a concert, but you got all these fake fans. They can afford this money. They're just there because that's the thing to be. I feel like with Bezos and all them, those millionaires, they don't really care about the space like the way Anthony does and I do, maybe Ron and people. They don't care. They just have the money. They're just going to do it because they can say they were up there. I mean, for us, it'd be a life changing moment for us. I mean, our heart is so much greater than a lot of these people, and it's just sad that money. I hate, money talks,
It's the
bullshit
root.
walks, right?
It's the root to all evil. Money. Okay, you got somebody that needs cancer treatment, and their cancer treatments are going to cost $30,000 a month. Is that fair to the guy that if he don't have 30,000 a month, he's going to die? Or insulin treatment for diabetics? Is it fair to a person that busts their ass all week long, working 45 hours a week, has a family with 3 kids, they're barely making bills, and then they got to shell out 300 a month just to stay alive on insulin? Is that fair? None of that shit's fair.
Mhm.
These pharmaceutical companies, these medicines are fractions of pennies. You know, that's what they should be charging. It shouldn't be about becoming a conglomerate and becoming rich. It should be about taking care of your fellow man. That's what it should be. I mean, that's the way I look at it. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but that's the way it should be.
I can't believe of all this conversation, forgot about the pyramids in Egypt. You are damn straight. I would love to check out the pyramids. To be able to go inside and
Beautiful.
just look at this massive pyramid. Really seeing it up close and asking myself, why was this made? Why is this? Did who came up with the structure and why? Was it us? Was it them?
Well, you want to hear something pretty cool, Eric?
I want to hear something cool.
They brought elements down. Scientists brought these elements down to an atomic level. And when they brought them down to an atomic level and they made them flat, long lines, the elements did nothing to each other, right? But when you change the chemical structure of them to a perfect pyramid, each one of these little microscopic pyramids, they all connected to each other and they started healing all the elements that were inside those pyramid shapes on an atomic level. So it had to do with something with the pyramid shape that cured all these elements that they were testing on an atomic level. And you can look this up yourselves. So the pyramids at Giza and all that, those designs weren't by accident. Those designs were because when they were all connected, they probably made some kind of electrical grid or whatever. There's a bunch of debates on what it was actually used for, but they weren't there to look pretty. They were there to definitely do something. I'm gonna look for that report on the pyramids on the atomic level and show you what we're talking about.
I gotta bring this up. Danny goes, you should start a Send Us to Space GoFundMe. Hey Danny, weren't you there back in the day of our channel when we did that story about the cow poop on the moon? How they actually took up a bag of poop or whatever. I can't remember the whole story.
Sure,
And
man.
remember, Danny, that we actually put up a GoFundMe account for myself to take a poop in a bag and pay NASA to take it with them to the moon. And we actually for a joke, we actually did a GoFundMe account and we actually got a donation up to $100. But we found out that for us to have any opportunity to send up a human bag of poop, we need over $300,000. But now hearing from Anthony that it might be just $100,000 to go to space, I might not spend the money to send a bag of poop. We'll go.
Eric's sending shit to the moon. If anybody's interested, you can go with him.
It was, yeah, we did a show on it like 2 years ago. There was an article about I can't remember what the article was about, bringing a bear poop to the moon. I can't remember what the whole thing was.
I know that they're bringing sperm over to the moon right now to store it. Human sperm over.
And I just remember we're on air. We actually set up a FundMe account and say, well, if they do that, we'll pay if we can send some of me, send some of my DNA up there. But I'm sure that NASA would not, even if we had the money, they probably wouldn't. Actually, maybe they would. I don't know. Because Anthony, isn't NASA still? I know they get funds from the government, but they're also still a private funding company itself, too, right? Don't they get funds from?
NASA puts in, the funding that they need every single year. They allocate it to the United States government, and the Vice President of the United States is the man in charge of that. So look, scientists want to send 6.7 million sperm samples to the moon. Okay. Scientists have begun plans for a repopulation starting with the sperm bank on the moon. And here it is all laid out. This is going to be the cryo preservation module. And the whole purpose for this is in case something catastrophic happens here on Earth, we can repopulate with the human race again, which is crazy.
So, but along with the sperm, wouldn't you need women's eggs?
I just said they're sending up sperm and ova.
Oh, okay. So there is both. Man, hopefully that's
more like NASA Pornhub. There, how I win the lottery.
NASA Pornhub. Oh man, that might be an idea, Anthony. Maybe we could make some money off of NASA.
Pornhub. My wheels are always spinning. Spooge.
Well, actually, I bet a lot of people would pay if you're able to film you floating a real float in the air with the woman on NASA Pornhub. I bet that would get some followers.
How does a deposit or withdrawal work if the sperm bank is on? So they fly you up there, all right? They put you in the woman in the stirrup. She opens her legs, and then they say, shoot! And he fires, and because you're in zero gravity, it just floats. Sometimes she gets hit in the cheek, sometimes on the forehead, but sometimes it makes it into the egg. It's like the dating game.
Look at this. This is funny. You got to read this one. Okay, I'll aim at the moon.
I'll aim at the moon.
Well, guys, it's about that time, and like I said, I apologize.
Christ compels you.
Like clips and all that. I don't have my main computer, so I don't have access to all that.
Hey, Marion Hesketh, my beautiful lady. How are you? So good to see you, darling.
I am. This is what's happening for the rest of this week, just so everybody knows. Actually, Thursday, I'm decided to do a live show on Thursday and a live on a Friday, because anything I record this week, I'm saving it for next week, the week that I'm gone, for at least to have some premieres up. But I like Thursdays, so I'm just going to do a live show on Thursday. But of course, on Wednesday, on Identified S4 channel, what's your topic for this Wednesday?
Pull it up. We're going to discuss how Zach Bagans screwed over Nick Roth for the last time. And Nick Roth basically tells all. and they're going to tell about how Zach screwed over John Zaffis by stealing the idea for his haunted museum. And Nick Groff, I give him a lot of credit because Zach just had one of his shows shut down. And, you know, guys like Zach were fun in the beginning, but, anybody else that tries to go start their own thing, he thinks he's God's gift to the paranormal world. He tries to shut it down, Quite frankly, if you didn't have Nick Groff, you would have never had Ghost Adventures. It was because of the footage that Nick Groff caught of that full-bodied apparition that Ghost Adventures was able to start their whole show on Travel Channel. So I have the video of Nick talking and everything. I have all the information that we need to know, and we're gonna hear it. I want everybody to hear what went on. So we'll discuss that this Wednesday at
I
12
can't wait
o'clock
because
on
I
the
I actually cheated and I found the interview or the interview that he did and talked about it, and my God,
Well, the
it's
interview is just one part. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts to what
oh,
we
there is,
There's
there
a
is,
lot.
there is, and it's just cool, not cool, but
Horrible what
a
he
lot
did.
of the speculations that we have that we talked about, we think was going on, finding out that what we thought was going on really did happen that way.
And it's really sad because I stopped watching the show when I saw how, and I don't know Zach personally. I met him once, but out here at Snug Harbor Cultural Center. But aside from that, Aaron Goodwin, Nick Groff, those were your two boys that were getting that show off the ground, and you guys were working together as a team when you were young and doing everything right. And then sometimes people get a taste of fame and fortune and limelight, and they just become totally different people.
Yep.
And may that never happen to any of us, because it's no way to be, man. It's no way to be. You're supposed to big up your boys and your girls and promote them. And I want to see everyone that has a channel succeed, because that's just the way I am. And I know Eric and Ron would just happen to be like that. And that's the way it should be, man. It's the way it should be.
There's a belief that if okay, it's like this. If for simple terms, people say that these Disney Marvel don't want DC to succeed. They're wrong, because if DC succeeds, that means everybody's loving the superhero and they want to see more. Doesn't matter what side it comes from. If people are enjoying more little shows like ours, talking about the paranormal UFOs, more people are going to go there, because the beautiful thing about YouTube, you don't have to watch it. I mean, it's nice to watch it live, but you can watch this anytime you want. So there's room for everybody to be watched. So more people you bring in is better than trying to crap on little channels, kind of like, you guys you don't exist, because then you develop this cult following, right? This direct cult following, and what happens is when you have a direct cult following, anybody new comes in, who are you? Get out of here. And it happens all the time. When people stay with a certain channel for a long time and there ain't a lot of new blood, when somebody new comes in, they're already ready to pounce them. They're ready to put them in timeout. They're not allowed to speak. It happens.
And not only that, if you don't like somebody or you don't like somebody's show, just don't go. Just avoid it. There's no need to talk shit about that person. Just cut them out of your life and keep it moving. If somebody's getting on your nerves, tell them, hey, fucking kick rocks, man. And just go about your business. It'd be so much more peaceful. I don't understand, because it takes so much more energy to be a mean, miserable, vindictive prick than to put a smile on your face and be a nice person.
Yeah.
It literally takes less energy to put a smile and just be kind to others instead of being, a miserable bastard. But I guess some people don't know how to handle that, and it's sad.
Nope. Well,
But
guys,
I'm so glad we have all these wonderful people in our chat, man, because we got a bunch of great people. And Mariette Hesketh, I'm so glad you're here, sweetheart. It's great to see you. Really is. Missed you.
And beyond that, people, I'm gonna be in the show. I want to thank you guys for being here. You guys are all awesome. Hopefully, I'll see all you guys on Wednesday on the Unidentified SFAR channel, and then come back live. I'll probably have a lot more, prepare stuff for Thursday. But beyond that, stay
And then
safe
Wednesday night,
and keep
Cosmic Neighbors with Ron and Jim. So make
Yep.
sure you check that out too.
Nashville prayers with you, because that stuff
Yeah,
like that should never happen.
Going on in Nashville, so keep them in your prayers. Yes, indeed.
Beyond that, we'll see you guys next time on the Paranormal Highway.